The air in the digital realm crackled with anticipation. For weeks, a low hum of speculation had vibrated through the celebrity gossip circuit, a barely audible undercurrent of whispers and side-eyed glances. Now the dam had broken. Nicki Minaj, the undisputed queen of shade, had allegedly lobbed a grenade into the meticulously constructed empire of Beyoncé and Jay-Z, and the fallout promised to be spectacular. But this wasn't just another celebrity spat fueled by ego and album sales. This was something darker, something far more unsettling. This was about Papa Bear. The initial tremors were subtle, almost deniable. A cryptic tweet here, a pointed lyric there. But those who spoke fluent Nicki, those who understood the intricate language of her disses, knew something was brewing. The target? The Carters? The accusation? Something so outlandish, so steeped in conspiracy and ancient fears, that it initially felt like a fever dream. Beyoncé, the goddess of pop, was allegedly plotting to sacrifice Nicki's son, Papa Bear. Let's be clear, the idea itself sounds insane. Sacrificing a child to voodoo idols? It's the stuff of horror movies, not the headlines of celebrity blogs. But in the labyrinthine world of fame, where image is everything and the stakes are impossibly high, the line between reality and delusion often blurred. And Nicki Minaj, never one to shy away from a fight, was painting a portrait of Beyoncé that challenged everything we thought we knew about the icon. The timing was crucial. The whispers of Beyoncé's alleged dabbling in the occult had been circulating for years, fueled by disgruntled former employees and Kanye West's infamous rambling rants. These allegations, often dismissed as the ramblings of the unstable or the bitter, had always remained on the fringes, relegated to the darker corners of the internet. But Nicki, with her unparalleled platform and her army of fiercely loyal barbs, was bringing those whispers into the mainstream. She was legitimizing the crazy. The question was why? What had driven Nicki to make such a drastic, career-threatening accusation? Was this a calculated move? A desperate attempt to reignite her own star power by attacking the reigning queen? Or was there something more to it? Was Nicki genuinely convinced that her son was in danger? The roots of this alleged feud, like the gnarled branches of an ancient tree, ran deep. There was the alleged financial dispute with Jay-Z, the claim that he had cheated her out of millions. There was the constant, simmering rivalry between two alpha females at the top of their game. And then there was the incident with Beyoncé's children. During a particularly heated exchange with Cardi B, Nicki had crossed a line that many considered unforgivable. She brought the Carter children into the fray. It was a low blow, even by celebrity standards. And while Jay-Z and Beyoncé had initially remained silent, the message was clear: don't mess with the kids. Kanye West had learned that lesson the hard way. His unhinged Twitter tirade against the Carters, in which he questioned the existence of their youngest children, had been met with swift and decisive condemnation. While they ultimately chose not to pursue legal action, the message was clear: the Carter children were off limits. Now, Nicki had allegedly reignited the flames, claiming that Beyoncé was not only willing to target children, but to sacrifice them. The stakes had been raised to a terrifying new level. And as the world waited with bated breath, Jay-Z was reportedly preparing to unleash the full force of his legal arsenal. The empire was about to strike back. The internet, of course, exploded. Number Papa Bear was trending, alongside number Beyoncé Voodoo and number Team Nicki. The Barbs, ever loyal, were in attack mode, digging up old interviews, obscure forum posts, anything that could even remotely suggest Beyoncé's involvement with the dark arts. Conspiracy theories flourished like poisonous vines, twisting and tangling around every available surface. But while Nicki's fans were busy waging war online, Beyoncé remained conspicuously silent. No clapbacks, no denials, no carefully crafted statements released through her publicist, just nothing. This perhaps was the most unsettling aspect of the whole affair. Beyoncé's silence was deafening, allowing the accusations to hang in the air, unanswered and unchallenged. It was a power move, to be sure, but also a risky one. In the court of public opinion, silence can often be interpreted as guilt. Adding fuel to the fire was Solange's cryptic Instagram post, a photo of what appeared to be a voodoo altar, complete with candles, herbs, and various ritualistic objects. The comments were turned off, leaving no room for interpretation. Was this a direct threat to Nicki? A warning? or simply a coincidence, a reflection of Solange's own eclectic interests. Whatever the intention, the message was received loud and clear. The Knowles, Carter family was not to be trifled with. But the allegations of witchcraft weren't new. Former drummer Kimberly Thompson had previously accused Beyoncé of using extreme witchcraft, dark magic, and magic spells of sex molestation against her. These claims, dismissed by many as the ravings of a disgruntled former employee, suddenly took on a new significance in light of Nicki's accusations. Was there a pattern here? A history of alleged dark practices that had been carefully concealed beneath the glossy veneer of celebrity? Then there were Kanye's infamous rants. His accusations that Jay-Z and Beyoncé were controlled and that they take people out had always been dismissed as the ramblings of a man in the midst of a mental breakdown. But now, some were starting to wonder if there was a grain of truth to his wild claims. Had Kanye, in his moments of unfiltered madness, inadvertently stumbled upon a dark secret? And Aaliyah's tragic death. Truth Right's interview hinting at Beyoncé's involvement in Aaliyah's passing added another layer of darkness to the already disturbing narrative. The idea that Beyoncé, the beloved icon, could be capable of such malevolence was almost too much to bear. But the most chilling aspect of Nicki's accusations was the claim that Papa Bear was allegedly mute because of Beyoncé's voodoo. This was no longer just about celebrity feuds and bruised egos. This was about the safety and well-being of a child, and if there was even a remote possibility that Nicki's claims were true, then the stakes were higher than anyone could have imagined. The question, of course, was whether Nicki had any proof to back up her claims. Had she seen something, heard something, or was this all based on speculation and paranoia? The answer, as always, remained elusive, hidden behind a wall of celebrity PR and carefully constructed narratives. But one thing was clear: the gloves were off. Nicki Minaj had declared war on the Carters, and the world was waiting to see who would emerge victorious, or, perhaps more accurately, who would survive. The silence from the Carter camp was broken, not by Beyoncé herself, but by a phalanx of lawyers. The lawsuit, when it arrived, was a masterpiece of legal precision, a carefully worded document designed to inflict maximum damage on Nicki's reputation and her bank account. Defamation, slander, intentional infliction of emotional distress, the charges piled up like a mountain of legal jargon, threatening to bury Nicki under its weight. But the lawsuit was only the opening salvo. Word leaked that Jay-Z was also seeking a restraining order, a legal barrier that would prevent Nicki from ever speaking about his family again. A gag order, the ultimate silencing weapon, was also allegedly in the works. The message was clear: shut up or face the consequences. Nicki, however, was not backing down. Emboldened by the support of her barbs and fueled by what she genuinely believed to be the truth, she doubled down on her accusations. Cryptic posts on social media hinted at receipts and witnesses, promising to expose the Carters' dark secrets once and for all. The industry held its breath. Was Nicki bluffing? Or did she actually have evidence to support her outlandish claims? The answer, it seemed, would determine the fate of two empires. If Nicki could prove even a fraction of what she was alleging, it would shatter Beyoncé's carefully constructed image and expose the dark underbelly of the entertainment industry. But if she couldn't, she risked becoming a pariah, a cautionary tale of what happens when you cross the wrong people. Meanwhile, the focus shifted to Papa Bear, the innocent child at the center of this increasingly bizarre and dangerous feud. Was he truly mute? And if so, was it due to some sort of spiritual interference, as Nicki claimed? Or was it simply a developmental issue, a private matter that had been cruelly thrust into the public spotlight? The speculation was relentless, fueled by grainy photos and unsubstantiated rumors. Some claim that Papa Bear had been seen speaking perfectly well in private, suggesting that Nicki was exaggerating his condition for dramatic effect. Others pointed to alleged sightings of strange symbols and rituals around the Carters' properties, fueling the conspiracy theories about Beyoncé's alleged involvement with the occult. The truth, as always, was elusive, obscured by layers of celebrity PR and carefully managed narratives. But one thing was clear: Papa Bear was a pawn in a much larger game, a symbol of innocence caught in the crossfire of a bitter and increasingly dangerous feud. As the legal battle raged on, the court of public opinion remained divided. Some sided with Nicki, praising her for her bravery in speaking out against a powerful and allegedly corrupt empire. Others condemned her for her recklessness, accusing her of exploiting her child for attention and spreading harmful and unsubstantiated rumors. The debate raged on, fueled by social media and cable news. Pundits weighed in, experts analyzed, and armchair detectives scoured the internet for clues. But in the end, the truth remained elusive, hidden behind a wall of celebrity PR and carefully constructed narratives. One thing was certain: the feud between Nicki Minaj and Beyoncé was far from over. The stakes had been raised, the battle lines had been drawn, and the world was waiting to see who would emerge victorious, or perhaps more accurately, who would survive the coming storm. The carefully manicured lawns of celebrity were about to be stained with something far darker than simple shade. The first wave of receipts arrived in the form of leaked emails, allegedly between Beyoncé's management team and various spiritual practitioners. The content was vague, filled with coded language and references to energy work and spiritual cleansing. While not explicitly mentioning Papa Bear or any form of sacrifice, the emails painted a picture of a team deeply invested in esoteric practices, hinting at a world beyond the carefully curated image of the Carters. Then came the witnesses. Former members of Beyoncé's inner circle, speaking on condition of anonymity, shared stories of strange rituals, late-night chanting sessions, and an unsettling obsession with numerology and astrology. One former assistant claimed that Beyoncé consulted with a psychic on every major decision, from album releases to business deals. Another alleged that the Carters' home was filled with crystals and talismans arranged according to specific geomantic principles. Individually, these accounts could be dismissed as the ramblings of disgruntled employees or the exaggerations of attention-seeking opportunists. But taken together, they formed a disturbing pattern, a mosaic of alleged dark practices that challenged everything the public thought they knew about Beyoncé. Jay-Z's legal team scrambled to discredit the witnesses, portraying them as unreliable, fame-hungry, and motivated by revenge. They pointed to inconsistencies in their stories and highlighted their past legal troubles, attempting to paint them as pathological liars. But the damage was done. The seeds of doubt had been sown, and the public was beginning to question the narrative they had been fed for so long. The most explosive revelation came in the form of a video. A grainy, shaky recording allegedly taken inside the Carters' home. The video, which quickly went viral, showed a group of people gathered around a makeshift altar, chanting in an unfamiliar language. While Beyoncé was not clearly visible in the video, many claimed to recognize her voice leading the incantation. The video's authenticity was immediately called into question, with Jay-Z's team dismissing it as a deepfake, a sophisticated forgery designed to damage Beyoncé's reputation. But the internet was already ablaze, with conspiracy theories running rampant. The pressure on Beyoncé was immense. The calls for her to address the allegations grew louder, fueled by the relentless media coverage and the insatiable appetite of the internet. But still, she remained silent, allowing her lawyers to do the talking. Then, a twist. Cardi B, surprisingly, entered the fray. In a series of cryptic tweets, she seemed to hint at knowing more than she was letting on, suggesting that there was a dark side to the Carters that the public was unaware of. While she stopped short of directly accusing Beyoncé of anything, her veiled comments added fuel to the fire, further legitimizing Nicki's claims. The internet exploded, with fans speculating about a possible alliance between Nicki and Cardi, two former rivals united by a common enemy. As the legal battle dragged on, it became clear that this was no longer just about defamation or slander. This was about something much bigger, something much darker. This was a battle for the very soul of the entertainment industry, a clash between two opposing forces, the carefully curated image of celebrity and the messy, often unsettling reality that lies beneath the surface. And in the middle of it all was Papa Bear, the innocent child caught in the crossfire. His fate, it seemed, was inextricably linked to the outcome of this epic battle, a symbol of the stakes at play. Would he be vindicated, or would he remain a victim of the dark forces that had allegedly been unleashed? The answer, as always, remained elusive, hidden behind a wall of celebrity PR and carefully constructed narratives. But one thing was clear: the world was watching, waiting to see what would happen next. The story was far from over.